Welcome in, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm Fernando here of SportsTimeHQ, your host. Joining with me is my great co-host, Keith. How are you doing today, Keith?
I'm great. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Of course, our two teams ended up not going to the Super Bowl that we wanted. We wanted the Bengals and 49ers, and
Yeah.
it just ended up not being that case.
No, I mean, what do you got to do? The other two teams played a better game, I suppose. Eagles and the Chiefs deserve to be there, and I still think it'll be a great game this evening. And yeah, who's going to win? Nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll have to talk about who wins later on in the show. We got some news and notes around the league, and I want to kind of start off with this Tom Brady news that I heard. Of course, we already know in these last 2 weeks that he announced his retirement, and it marked actually one exact year since he retired again, same exact time. I don't know if you were on eBay or anything. Did you see the sand that was being auctioned off?
For like 100K or something crazy, somebody just went to the same beach and like bottled the sand. Yeah, I mean, like whoever buys that.
Like why? Why are you? Who would say that's actually the sand that he stepped on?
Yeah, I know. That could be like sand from any beach. It's like, why would you even bother doing that? I suppose people are probably gullible enough to go out and buy it thinking it's the sand Tom Brady was standing on or something when he announced his retirement for the second time. But still, I mean, it's not even worth $1, never mind 100K. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well go down the street to a beach and just grab that and sell it on eBay too. Say Tom Brady stepped on that thing.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Or Gronk stepped on this one. I seen him this morning.
Exactly. Yeah. A little Photoshop with Grunk on the side of me. Yeah, Grunk's holding the sand. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I mean, it's just silly.
Do you think Tom Brady comes out of retirement again?
No, I think he's done this time. I think that's it. He'll take a year probably to chill, and then he'll go into the booth for the 2024 season with Fox, I think. But yeah, no, I don't think he's coming back. What about you? You think he'll come back? And no, I was about to say, get him to come back to your Patriots for one last go over.
No, he officially signed his retirement papers, and that means he's not going to be retiring as a Patriot, which is interesting because I would have thought he would have came back to sign a one-day deal.
That's why, yeah. I think that's why everybody wanted and Robert Kraft and all that. So it's very interesting that he didn't do that.
It goes to show that maybe the bridge was burned that's why he left.
I didn't think they left that. He kind of left on bad terms, but maybe there's more to it than we know.
So of course he had a lot of bad moments this season. Of course, he finished with a losing record. He got eliminated in the playoffs. He lost his wife. And not only did all that happen, he also retired from the NFL. Not only did that happen, about a day ago, the news broke that, Keith, I don't know if you know anything about crypto, but him and Giselle, they both invested into the FTX crypto. And it ended up going bankrupt, if I believe so. And they suffered massive financial losses. It was worth they lost $84 million.
Man, that's a crazy amount of money to be losing. That's the chance you take when you invest in something like crypto. I'm sure they have a backup stash of cash somewhere. You won't be homeless or something like that. And all the money is going to get off Fox, whatever the 300 and whatever million is, he'll get off Fox for going in the booth. But it's crazy. It's a crazy amount of money to lose. Crazy amount of money to whatever you invested as well. But it just shows if you need to have that amount of money to be able to lose it. So, I mean, I'm sure he's still comfortable.
Yeah, and he in total lost 53 million. Giselle lost up to what was worth about 32 million when they were up at its peak.
Oh, look, she won again, so she didn't lose as much.
Exactly. And another loss goes to Brady once again.
Yeah. He's not doing so good. He should definitely come back and try to win Super Bowls. I think he's better off winning that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, he can't win Super Bowls anyways anymore.
True.
His time's done. He should have had that one and done season with the Bucks, retired there. He would have still been called the greatest.
True. He is.
I think he still is the greatest.
He still is the greatest, but he just would have went out a lot better than, kind of this year's situation.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't see Brady coming back. And he did also mention that he will be taking a gap year in between. So next season, he's going to focus on just his personal stuff and everything. He plans on going to the booth in the fall of 2024.
Yeah.
So for what? That's Super Bowl 59 season? Yeah. They'll be ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know who keeps a job, Greg Olson or someone like that for another season before Tom Brady comes in there. But yeah, I mean, he needs a year to himself just to take it easy and get himself, gathered and back together. There's a lot went on this year off the field and on the field for Tom Brady. So yeah, I suppose it's a good idea just to take a year out from and get away from everything.
Yeah, and of course, Super Bowl. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, Super Bowl 58. That's next
57.
season, right?
Yeah, 57 is this.
We're gonna be predicting Super Bowl 58 next season later on in the show. But let's talk about Super Bowl 57 first. So it's an interesting Super Bowl. This is actually the first Super Bowl that we've seen two black quarterbacks go head to head. And of course, I want to talk about how Jalen Hurts has just been absolutely elite this season. And Patrick Mahomes has also been elite. I mean, Hurts has been a dual threat. Mahomes got injured, but he still is also a threat. I mean, which quarterback do you think is better, in my opinion, for today's game?
Overall, who I think the better quarterback is Mahomes, and he's proven it. And I think, he has less weapons this year, and he still goes out and balls out. I know, his main target is Travis Kelce, but they have no real name star wide receiver there. Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, MVS. There's no great names there. Tony as well. There's no star-studded wide receivers that like, which Philly have, with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So I definitely think Mahomes has the edge as who's the better quarterback. And he's also, he's a Super Bowl winner. He's proven it. But Jalen Hurts has had a brilliant season. And, what he can do with his legs has been great. And it's kind of the new age quarterback. And, he's proven it with his arm too. He's hit a lot of bombs, a lot of touchdowns to AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. So I think, Mahomes is still better, but we got to see the consistency from Jalen Hurts now going forward. But I still think he can do it.
Yeah, for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, I mean, they ranked 5th in rushing yards. They averaged about 147.6 yards per game, and 9th in passing, so at 241.5 yards per game in the regular season. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid for a team that can run and also pass. But for Mahomes, that hasn't been really the case. I mean, they were top ranked in passing, but their rushing game has been just awful this season. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's probably been one of the biggest running back busts in recent years. I mean, I'm sure you could agree with that. And Isaiah Pacheco coming in looking good.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's the thing with the Chiefs. They never really rely too heavily on the run game because they have Mahomes and what he can do with his arm. And Mahomes can run a bit, as well. But yeah, Clyde has just been a bit of a disaster since he's been there. Pacheco looks good. I think he's going to have a big game tonight in the Super Bowl. I think that's how they're going to get at the Eagles. I've heard there's also, a few trick plays or something up their sleeve that is going to have Tony involved. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Andy Reid always likes to, call some wacky plays, but yeah, they don't really need a top running back. I think Pacheco is probably going to be the guy going forward. Now he's looked good, and he'll definitely do well going forward. And I think, like I said, he'll have a big game later on.
Yeah, I could easily see that, and not to mention, I mean, Patrick Mahomes last season lost Tyreek Hill, and we talked about, is Patrick Mahomes and these Chiefs, are they going to be able to make it far without Tyreek Hill? And you go to see we're in Super Bowl 57 now, and Kansas City's in the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, and I think that's why 100% easily what Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's put this team on his back, and he said, I'm going to get this team to the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter who the receivers are or what's out there, we're going to do this, and that's what's happened. Travis Kelce, of course, has been, he's probably the best tight end of all time now. He's also, contributed majorly in this, but there's been moments where MVS has been good, Juju's been solid, and then the defense has obviously stepped up. That stepped up big time against the Bengals, and Chris Jones having a big game, and he could dominate tonight as well. So yeah, it's been spread out a bit, but definitely Mahomes putting this team on his back is the reason why they're in the Super Bowl.
And can we talk about also the Giants, how the Giants managed to get to the playoffs? And we talked about who should have been coach of the year. And it was officially mentioned how Brian Doble is officially the coach of the year. I mean, what a season the Giants have had.
They had a great season. I'm not really sure that Brian Daboll deserved coach of the year, but they did.
Really?
Yeah, they had a great season. But Andy Reid wasn't up there. Nick Sirianni wasn't up there in the votes, or wasn't getting there. It was like Doug Peterson as well. I mean, it's these two teams. If you talk about the Giants and the Jags, they've been turnaround teams. They've been kind of in nothing busts, and all of a sudden they made the playoffs. That's great, but I don't think they deserved that. I think the Giants definitely had some schedule. Some games went for them. Their schedule wasn't the toughest. You know what I mean? If they came up against better teams, regular, I don't think they would have made the playoffs. And probably the same for the Jags. But they do have things to build on, which is good going forward. But I still think the likes of the Nick Sirianni, maybe, I think he should have been coach of the year. What he did with that Eagles team.
So you think basically like whichever team basically finishes the best record and the team looks so good, almost should be like the coach should do.
I think that even to be nominated or up there, you know what I mean? They weren't even in the last three, which is kind of like that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not. You take the coach out of there and put another coach in. There's still no guarantee the Eagles make the playoffs, or you take Andy Reid out of the Chiefs. There's no guarantee just because they have Mahomes, they make the playoffs. So they have a lot to do with getting the team together, getting the right players to fit the schemes, and getting them to go out there and win every week. So to not even be in the top three, I think it's a bit crazy.
No, I 100% agree with you. And Nick Sirianni should be at least top three, maybe also Andy Reid maybe at number two. But I think realistically, what they look at for coach of the year is basically who most improved their team. And of course, I mean, if you look at the Giants, they were awful last season, and this season I expected them to still be bad. I didn't expect them to be in the playoffs or even come close to making playoffs. So I think, in my opinion, it's the most improved coach. It's almost like the comeback player of the year, like Geno Smith, for instance. I mean, who knows? Pete Carroll should have been in the running for coach of the year for trading away Russell Wilson and having Geno Smith taking that team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. It's probably seen as a hometown view being a Seattle fan, but I mean, what we did again, I would argue with people. Our schedule wasn't the greatest as well. We have a tough division, but there was a lot of teams in there. I'm pretty sure we bet the Giants this year as well. Our schedule wasn't the toughest out there, but like you said, what Pete did, getting Geno in, giving him the confidence. Obviously, he was happy with Geno knowing the playbook, and he went out there and balled out and winning comeback player of the year. And also the draft we have, all these young players, especially on defense that we took in, they've all really done well. I think it's the best draft I've ever seen since I've been, getting into the NFL and supporting the Seahawks. So for that reason too, I think that's why Pete Carroll should have been up there. I didn't think he'd ever going to win it, but I thought he might get more votes. And I don't even know if he got one vote, but I thought he definitely deserved some credit.
No, I think he deserved all the credit, in my opinion. I mean, for instance, next year, if Russell Wilson can do what Geno Smith did this season, I mean, I think, for instance, Russell Wilson could be comeback player of the year. He should, or at least in the running, because of how awful the season he had.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to take too much for him to have a better season. But if he comes back and they make the playoffs and they're looking like the team we all thought they were going to be this year, well, then he's definitely going to be in the running. And Sean Payton will definitely be in the running for coach of the year. So, yeah, it's a wait and see for them guys.
Are you surprised Sean Payton went to the Broncos or even came back to coach?
I'm not surprised he came back to coach. I'm surprised he went to the Broncos because what he has there now is the team that needs to win a Super Bowl or not, because they've kind of given away most of their picks and, that way to Seattle and stuff like that. So it's real win now mode for the Broncos. And with that division, I don't know whether they're still good enough. I know Peyton's going to make them a whole lot better than Hackett had them. But whether they're going to be good enough to, go take that next step and get to the Super Bowl, I'm not too sure. It's a tough division. He needs to get Russ back firing. Javonte Williams coming off an injury, could be slow start for him next season. So there's just a lot of question marks around him. But I'm surprised that Sean Payton's kind of gone for a team that are all in now, because there's if it doesn't work out, it's going to be trading a lot of pieces to try and get picks back down the line, and then a whole rebuild. So it's interesting. He's probably got the next 2 or 3 years to win a Super Bowl and then see what happens.
I mean, not to mention that Derek Carr is most likely out as a Las Vegas Raider. Who knows? I mean, there's rumors that he might go to the Saints. I mean, he's been talking with the Saints. Supposedly there's a deal already in place. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but that means that they're going to need a quarterback, and there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers is going to go there. And with Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes, that division is stacked, absolutely stacked.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders will be a whole lot better for Aaron Rodgers is back with Devontae Adams.
100%.
I mean, like, that Green Bay connection is back. But I was just literally reading before we came on, and I think it's probably a money thing, but the Raiders said they'd probably go with Jimmy G over Aaron Rodgers right now.
100% have to be the money.
It has to be a money thing, I would imagine. So Aaron Rodgers could end up maybe with the Jets or something like that, because I know Green Bay do want to trade away. So unless the only way I can see Rodgers coming back to the Packers if it's like they restructure that crazy contract they gave him or something like that, because it looks like they just don't want to pay him by the sound of things.
And I mean, you mentioned Aaron Rodgers possibly going to the Jets. I mean, the Jets they've come out and said it basically, and they're going to arguably very aggressively pursue Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to try and get him. And for a team that just won Offensive Rookie of the Year when Garrett Wilson, and then also Defensive Rookie of the Year in Sauce Gardner, I mean, it goes to show that this team's young and this team has a lot of potential. Bringing in an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, this team could very well be a playoff team. I mean, we knew it was just they're one quarterback away, and Zach Wilson wasn't that guy. Yeah,
exactly. So I think the Jets have a bright future ahead of them, but they need a starting quarterback now. I mean, like you said, they have, Sauce Gardner and great pieces on that defense. They have a defense going forward. That's fine. It's trying to get this offense sorted out, and they always get some offensive line injuries. Kind of always happens to the Jets. But they need a quarterback, and I think if they get a name like Aaron Rodgers that is proven in the league, they are going to be a team that they're going to win a lot of games and going to go far. But they need to get that quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. Who wins that division next year?
Who? I mean, unfortunately for you, it's not you guys.
I was going to say Patriots.
I think it'll be between the Bills and the Jets. I don't think I think the Dolphins are good on offense. They're not that good on defense. I don't know how the whole Tua thing. I know he's out of protocol and he's going to come back, but you know what I mean. He gets sacked one more time and lands on his head. I think Tua's probably done in the NFL. I get they have the weapons there, but I just don't think they're good enough. I mean, it's somewhere between the Bills and the Jets. I think
the Jets. I think the Jets would win the division.
Yeah.
Again, I currently have no faith in these Bills.
Yeah, I was saying it all. I mean, like, unless they revamp that defense, so I was going on about. They have they expect too much of Josh Allen. That's a big issue. They need a solid running game, but they need to get a whole lot better on defense. And yeah, sure, at the moment they're only a playoff team, and that's as far as they go. So,
with the Eagles demolishing the Brock Purdy and the 49ers, who's the starting quarterback in San Francisco next season? Obviously, we know the defense is solid. Of course, Nick Bosa, he won Defensive Player of the Year. And you look at the quarterback situation, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and technically Jimmy Garoppolo still in the mix. Who realistically is the starter? I mean, we know George Kittle's a big Brock Purdy fan.
He is, yeah. I still think it's going to be Trey Lance just because Purdy's going for surgery soon. I think he's actually having surgery today or next week or something like that? He said it the other night.
But he should be ready for training camp.
Is he going to be ready? It's not going to be this whole year long.
That's what they said. They said he should be ready for training camp.
The only thing is Trey Lance, I think, will be back. I think they'll probably be back at the same time. But I mean, Trey Lance has probably gotten over his injury a lot, be a lot quicker than Purdy. I think Purdy, let's be honest, I think Purdy deserves to be the starter. If there was no question marks over an injury, I would say Brock Purdy. But I think Trey Lance is going to have the edge on him when they come back because they're both coming back off, injuries. Yeah, so it'll be interesting either way.
So you think Lance wins it, even if Purdy comes in and looks really good in training camp?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Trey Lance. I think they put too many. There's also like the thing they put too many, picks and everything into Trey Lance just to kind of go, oh, well, it's Brock Purdy now. When we haven't really seen a whole lot of Trey Lance and what he can do because of the injury, and they basically said last year, he was a starter. So.
You trade him away now, you get all the things you want for him, and then you deal with him, Mr. Irrelevant, who seems to be relevant to me.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just don't think that's what the 49ers will do.
I think they'll do it. You might as well sign a Cam Newton type of quarterback for backup and get Mr. Irrelevant in there and be the starter. Trade away Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to come back. He wants money. I mean, get a Carson Wentz to back up. Someone like that.
Carson Wentz is going to just do the rounds on every NFL team by the time he retires.
Yeah. Pull in Ryan Fitzmagic. Get him back in here.
Ryan Fitzmagic. What about Matt Ryan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I would take Matt Ryan. You're not going to pay him that much. He's not that much. He's not worth that much.
No, but he's all a backup.
I think Purdy deserves to start.
It's going to be interesting.
I know you're a big Trey Lance believer, and you're trying so hard, but I'm a Purdy believer. That man was looking Purdy all season, all to get it torn apart in the conference championship.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Maybe we'll have a little side bet on this.
Yeah, a little side bet. I don't know. Some team who looked Mr. Phonies was the Minnesota Vikings, but that didn't stop Justin Jefferson from winning Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, Justin Jefferson, we can obviously both say he's just elite in every aspect.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he could do maybe with an upgrade in the quarterback because Kirk Cousins, just doesn't use him a whole lot sometimes, which is just kind of crazy. But yeah, he's elite. He deserved the award. I'd say it's probably between him and Devontae Adams for the best wide receiver in the league right now. But yeah, he's great. But the Vikings need a lot more than just him being great to get them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it could be a thing where they might draft a quarterback in this draft. I think very much they could draft a quarterback late in the first or maybe early in the second.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. They also need to revamp that defense. They gave up way too many points last year. They could score points for fun in most games, but they gave up way too many points. So I think that's probably a big focus too.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. I mean, I think if you get a quarterback though, a quarterback that can, it's almost like the Josh Allen I talked about. Kirk Cousins can take them to the playoffs. So can Josh Allen. But both players have yet to take their teams to the Super Bowl. You've seen Joe Burrow do it in a few seasons. You've seen Patrick Mahomes do it multiple seasons. Jalen Hurts now has done it. I mean, for a team that looks so elite, or a team that looks like they can score a lot of points or get wins or have good records and still not make the Super Bowl, there's a problem.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, the defense is definitely the big issue. For me, Kirk Cousins' consistency is another issue. And like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they do go quarterback in the draft. But yeah, the Vikings, like we were calling them all year, they're frauds. The record was way better than it should be. Again, probably another one that the schedule was probably on their side. And then they were found out in the playoffs. So
yeah,
I mean, it's an interesting season for Vikings fans. That's what I think, because there is a whole lot of talent on offense.
That team's phenomenal. That team's great. It needs just a little bit more work, and it could go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens this offseason. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting how it goes this offseason. Like, what do the Giants do with the wide receivers? Like, I think they spend the most.
They need a wide receiver. They got to go get.
They need a lot of wide receivers though, but they need to clear a lot of their cash. You know what I mean? Kenny Golladay, who's getting crazy money and stuff like that. But so all the teams kind of that even made the playoffs, there's still big question marks over a lot of these teams.
Yeah, but if you're paying Kenny Golladay so much money and you're gonna lose all the money by cutting him, you might as well just keep him on your roster at that point, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I imagine that. But like you said, they're gonna have to go draft one. You're just going to put more money into that position. That's kind of the pain for them.
Yeah, and like for instance, I think personally the Giants would fit well on getting DJ Chark. He's projected to be an unrestricted free agent.
He's a free agent. Yeah.
I think that would be a marvelous.
And what about your boy? I don't know if he's going to come back, but Jacoby Myers. He's another free agent. He'd definitely suit the Giants. I know you probably wouldn't want to lose him, but he'd definitely suit the Giants.
He 100% would. Honestly, if DJ Chark was there, add Jacoby Myers, and then who was it? Isaiah Hodgins? Keep him.
He looked good.
And then draft a wide receiver. Draft a wide receiver in the draft. Like, I forget how to say his name. He's from Ohio State, Jackson. The long name. I gotta figure out that name. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, get someone like him. I mean, that offense looks elite. That offense: Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, Jackson, DJ Chark, and then Jacoby Myers in the slot. Unstoppable. I think that team goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're calling your shot right here, right now. If they get some good wide receivers, they're going to the Super Bowl.
I hate to say it. But if the Giants get DJ Chark, Jacoby Myers, and draft Jackson, whatever his last name is, from Ohio State, I think, and keep Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley on a 5-year option or a long-term deal, maybe add some weapons in the defense, that team's unstoppable. You can't stop that team.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Fernando has said,
I hate to say it.
With a few upgrades, the Giants are going to the Super Bowl next year.
I do not like these Giants, but if that's what they do, I love that offense. That offense is great.
Okay.
Still don't know about Daniel Jones. But I think Saquon Barkley and the rest of the team could carry, in my opinion.
Hey, I won't go against you. Let's see what happens.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about this. Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, the first-time brothers are facing head-to-head in this biggest game of the year. Travis Kelce on the Chiefs, Jason Kelce, the center, on Philadelphia. There's rumors that there's rumors of retirement after the season. With your wife being 38 weeks pregnant, just about to celebrate possibly a Super Bowl victory, you might as well leave out on top. And if you're planning on retiring, this is the year to retire. You're getting a newborn, and your focus is going to go all to him once you retire.
Yeah, I mean, I think he
planned this.
I wouldn't be surprised, but what's the odds that the two Kelce brothers retire and walk off the field after the Super Bowl?
I don't think so.
There can only be one winner, but be interesting. Like,
I would be shocked.
If you say Jason's gonna retire regardless of the outcome, and the Chiefs win, I think there's a slight chance there that the two of them walk off the field and as like that was their last game and they retire. If you ask me honestly, I think Kelce will be back, but I think there is a slight chance if Kelce wins the Super Bowl that the two of them retire.
I would love to see that. I would love to see the brothers walk off, biggest stage, walk off, no matter the victory, brothers forever, and you retire the same year. But he's 33 years old. Travis Kelce, I don't see him retiring.
He's not slowing down either. And once they have Pat Mahomes, he's still going to have a chance of winning more Super Bowls. I just think it's another scenario that could play out later on tonight. That'd be crazy. I would be shocked. I would be so shocked if I saw the press conference or post game interviews and it goes
both Kelseys are retiring. What does Mahomes do? Mahomes can't win without Travis Kelce.
Now they have to go get some elite wide receivers.
Juju's a free agent. He's not going to be. You're not going to probably sign him back. Sky is there. Kadarius Toney's there.
You get on the phone to Tyreek and say, "We're sorry, come back."
Yeah, exactly. Get on the phone. Go get Gronkowski. Gronkowski wants to come out of retirement. That would be perfect. Oh my goodness. Getting Travis Kelce retired, then Gronkowski coming in. Unstoppable.
There you go. More Super Bowls.
Chiefs Giants in the Super Bowl next year.
What is going on with you today? You got the Giants going, and now you're making plans for the Chiefs without Kelce. I don't know. You're flowing today. There's something going on with you.
I'm flowing. You know. No, but I mean, realistically, if you lose Travis Kelce, there's a problem. Like you need to figure something out. And Tyreek ain't gonna come back. And Kelce, he's a phone call away, but I don't know if he'll leave right away.
I mean, I'm not expecting to. I think it's just another scenario and something else that could play out later on tonight. But the brothers playing on the opposite teams for the first time and both on the offense, it's a good angle. I see they see the petition where they wanted their mom to do the toss and all that stuff.
Yeah,
because it was called the Kelce Bowl. So it's been a fun build up with them two guys.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're still there. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Siri wanted to work on. Can you hear it, Siri?
No, I can't hear nothing. Siri wants to get involved in the pod. Kick Siri out of the pod.
I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me now?
All right, there we go. Siri's out of the pod. I ejected Siri out of the pod.
Good.
I don't know what you said towards the end of that because Siri tried to interrupt me.
It's gone on about the Kelce's it's been a fun week with the Kelce's and the mom and all that stuff leading up to it. So
do you think? I don't think they've actually announced who's flipping the coin, but do you think?
I don't think it'll be her.
No, you don't think so?
There's obviously the petition to get her to do it because of it, but I don't think it'll be her.
I mean, it'd be cool to see Kelce's walk out, and the mom is the one that flips the coin.
Yeah. And then someone's not going to be happy when they win the toss or lose the toss or whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see. It'd be funny to see. It'd be fun to see.
I don't think she does that. I think it was just a gimmick to try and the NFL is too serious for that stuff.
You think they got like some type of bet going on DraftKings or something where who flew the coin and plus 500 for Kelce's mom?
I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't checked it out. I've actually have a bet on the toss and who wins it and stuff like that. But I definitely didn't see Kelce's mom in there.
I guess. I mean, I didn't see it either, but who knows? Going into overall the Super Bowls. Of course, the Eagles, the last time they were in the Super Bowl was back in 2017 when they unfortunately beat my New England Patriots by a score of 41-33. As for these Chiefs, the last time they were in the Super Bowl back in 2020, where they ended up losing to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a score of 31-9. They did end up winning the season prior against the 49ers and by a score of 31-20. So these teams in the last 5 or so years, they've managed to be Super Bowl victorious before, and one will be crowned tonight. Keith, I'll start with you. Who flips the coin and wins that coin toss? Or not who flips it. We know it's going to be Kelce's mom, but who wins the coin toss?
Well, the thing is, right, so in the last 9 years, whoever's won the toss has lost. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that I'll go with it's heads. Heads is the call, and the Chiefs win the toss. So then the Chiefs won't win.
So you're saying Chiefs win the toss?
Heads and Chiefs win the toss. So heads is the call.
And it's heads. You know, the last time a team was the coin toss winner, and won. Do you know which team that was?
I'm pretty sure I do. I think it's my Seahawks.
It is your Seahawks when they face Denver. and they absolutely
2014.
blew them out of the water.
Yeah, 43-8, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was such a great game. That was a great game to watch.
Yep. Yeah, we blew them out. Our defense kicked ass that game. That was a great Super Bowl.
Well, I think that coin toss streak is going to be broken, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
So I think Chiefs will also win the coin toss, but I think it's not going to be heads. I think it's going to be tails, in my opinion.
Okay.
And overall,
Tails has a better record, I'm pretty sure, the Super Bowl, of coming up.
Yeah, so tails have won 29 times and heads have won 27 times. So Keith, you're trying to get to number 28 to win.
Yeah.
Most coin toss wins. Fun, interesting stat. The Cowboys. They have the most coin toss wins in the Super Bowl.
That's because Jerry Jones has the coin rigged or something. That's why it's double-sided for them.
Cowboys. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, in my opinion. And then looking into the preview of today's game, Philadelphia, their spread is 1.5, and they're favored to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the over/under is 51 points. Keith, what are you taking on that over/under of 51 points? Do you think that's a smash over, smash under?
What I think I'm right on the 51.
Really?
Yeah, I'm right on 51.
So you're gonna push?
No, I think it. Well, am I saying my prediction now, or are we waiting?
Just go. We'll just talk about the over/under first, and then we'll go into.
I think I'm right on. So it's over. So I'm just gonna go under 51 then.
Under 51, really?
Yeah.
So you think it's gonna be what, like a 27-21 type of game, or 24-23 type of game?
I think it's. I'll tell you what my prediction is going to be then. I'll tell
you. Now you can tell me.
I won't tell you I think we'll win, but I think it'll be 27-23.
27-23. Oh, that is right on. That is right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one under. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you have a bet going on that? On the over/under?
No, I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't seen what the line is for it, but I think I will do it just before the kickoff.
Interesting. Well,
where are you going? Over under?
I will be hitting the over on that. I think it's going to be more of a high-scoring game. In my opinion. I think realistically the final score is going to be 31-30, 1-point game, and it's going to be won by.
That's going to be a serious Super Bowl if that's what the scoreline is.
It's going to be won by a kick, game-ending kick. That's how it's determined.
I mean, I'm all up for that if that's what the game is going to be. But usually, one team just comes out too nervous. That's what happens, and I think of the Super Bowl. But
so, which team comes out too nervous that is going to score 23 points for you, and will not be crowned Super Bowl victorious?
Oh, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm afraid I have Philly winning the Super Bowl. I have Philly winning the Super Bowl. I just think they.
Well, show's over.
Yeah,
gotta go.
Over. Yeah, but I think they have too much on both sides of the ball. I think Mahomes, like I said before, put the team on his back, and I just think it's kind of one step too far for these Chiefs.
Well, I think that the Eagles, the last time they win a Super Bowl after today, will be still 2017.
Oh, okay.
I think the Chiefs will win. And we kind of hinted that when we did our coin tosses. I don't know if you realized, but I said, yeah. I don't know if you realized that, but yeah. So we got two different teams winning the Super Bowl, and our predictions were completely wrong.
Exactly. So it all went out the window. So it didn't matter then. You could do basically a do-over for these guys.
Exactly. I got to ask you though, after seeing the games and knowing who goes to the Super Bowl, is this probably? I mean. If I score 31-30, it'd be a nice Super Bowl to watch with a game-ending kick. But with both teams number one seed, do you kind of find this Super Bowl almost like one of the most boring Super Bowls?
As in,
previews,
kind of
anyway.
Yeah, kind of no surprise in getting here type of thing.
Yeah.
I would say it's boring. I would say on merit, these two have, they were right to get here. Even if it was the other way around and we were having the Bengals and the 49ers, I still think they would have.
I mean, that's such an interesting game.
I know.
Such an interesting game.
total like two totally different teams. I mean, that would have been, I think that would have been a bit more fascinating. But they would have, if they had gotten here, they would deserve that. I don't really think I think it's kind of boring in that sense. I still think it's going to be a great game, and I still think, you know, these two teams deserve to be here.
Tell me this: would you rather have seen the Eagles and Chiefs, or would you rather have seen the Jaguars and Giants?
Oh, no, Eagles and Chiefs.
Okay, just because the more of an elite offense.
Yeah, I mean, that could be like a barn burner. Like it's one extreme or another. Like I'm not expecting this to be an awfully low scoring game or something like that, where it's like 10-7 tonight. But like there's still odds the Giants and the Jags could just keep going up the field and not scoring because, you know, they're good, but they're not that good.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, I was just curious with it. I mean,
the way you're going with these Giants and the way I know you like the Jags, you probably would have rather that you're like all in on these guys.
I would have loved to see that because it's just two total oddball teams that I think no one would have predicted to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I agree.
mean,
but I don't know at the start of the year I don't know if many people would have given Philly though a chance at the start of the year because there was a lot of question marks over Jalen Hurts. I mean, I think KC were a given that, you know, they'll definitely make the playoffs, and were they good enough to go without Tyreek Hill, you know, was the question. But I think the question mark was all around how would Jalen Hurts fit in, and would Philly, you know, be that good? And obviously proven they have.
Here's my question to you. AJ Brown got traded in the draft to the Eagles. He finished 13th in receptions with 88 receptions, 4th in the league with 1,496 yards, tied for 3rd with 11 touchdowns. Do you think that if AJ Brown wasn't traded there, and maybe they drafted a wide receiver like Treylon Burks, do you think they're in the Super Bowl now?
No. I mean, I think he was kind of the missing piece on offense that they needed, like an elite wide receiver. Devontae Smith is good, but I think bringing AJ Brown in helps Devontae Smith as well. You know, you got the number one coverage guy on there and taking up AJ Brown, which, you know, leaves Devontae Smith with the second guy. Got to take him, and Devontae Smith's elite enough to get by him. We've seen what he's done, and AJ Brown is, you know, better than any cornerback when it comes to going up and jump balls and stuff like that. So it's definitely improved their team, and probably he was the missing piece in this offense, and it's definitely helped them get to the Super Bowl.
And Devonta finished with 95 receptions, better than AJ Brown, 1,196 yards, 7 touchdowns. And now I'll ask you this question before we go up to our players who we think are going to score the most passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards. Tyreek Hill. If he didn't get traded to the Dolphins, obviously we know the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, and that's without Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill's in here, are you predicting Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl again?
I think they'd be red hot favorites, yeah, if Tyreek Hill was here. I mean, look, they've got there with Travis Kelce and a bunch of, you know, pretty good wide receivers, but not outstanding. If you have Tyreek Hill in there with that, I mean, it just gives them a whole new dimension and a lot of long balls and, you know, new trick plays where you can run out from the you know, the backfield and stuff like that. So I think they'd be red hot favorites, and they'd probably go on and win if Tyreek Hill was there.
Okay, good to know. I was curious on those. I completely agree with you on all of that, by the way. AJ Brown, if he's not there, Eagles don't make it, and Tyreek Hill, if he's there, they're red hot favorites as well. Players now to predict for most passing yards. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Is it Gardner Minshew or Chad Henne?
Chad Henne.
So, of course, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, they're both in the Super Bowl. Which player do you think, unless you decide Chad Henne comes in and Patrick Mahomes gets injured, who finishes the game with the most passing yards?
I think it'll be Pat Mahomes. I think he'll go out there and ball and have the most. Yeah, I think they will. Because I think the Eagles are going to do a lot with Jalen Hurts. I think. Sorry?
I was going to say with the Eagles leading,
yeah,
I mean, they're going to run the game.
Yeah, and also I think, you know, Jalen Hurts is going to do a lot with his legs as well, and there's going to be, you know, who's going to be in the backfield from Philadelphia? Who knows? Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell. I think they're all going to be in there. today, getting their share of the ball too. So I just think Mahomes will be airing it out, and he'll have the more passing yards.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with you. I'm going to go with Mahomes. I think it's a battle back and forth, but I think with Mahomes not having, like I mentioned earlier, not having really that rushing upside with the running backs, I think they're going to have to lean on always him, whereas the Eagles are more spread out to run game and receiving game, passing game. And I think it's going to be Mahomes that has to throw the ball more and going to have to get some yardage. Yeah, I mean, he could easily finish, in my opinion, maybe 300 plus passing yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that easy.
Running backs. Obviously, this includes Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes because they do run. Who finishes with the most rushing yards?
I can really see Jalen Hurts finishing with the most yards. Like I said, it's hard to call with Philadelphia. Is like Sanders going to get it all? He'd probably start off as a starter, but they're definitely going to mix in Boston Scott and Gainwell. Mm-hmm. We've seen Gainwell; he's able to break away one of them long runs, and all of a sudden, he might only get 5 touches, but he has 50 yards all of a sudden. But I think Hurts is gonna. They'll probably put a spy on Hurts to try and keep him in the pocket and not move around too much. Yeah. But he's good enough to get out of that. And he's quick enough. I think he'll have the most rushing yards. But I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to be. I don't think he'll have the most rushing yards, but he's going to be a vital cog in this. I think you can definitely get at Philly on the ground if they decide, if that's how the Chiefs decide to go. So I think he'll be a vital cog for them. I still think, like I said, Pat Mahomes will air the ball out a lot, but there will be instances where they will have to hand it off, and I think Pacheco will do well. But if you're asking me, rushing yards, I'm going with a quarterback, and I'm going with Hurts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts. I think with the QB spy in place, I think he's going to be able to scream out of the pocket and rush. But I think Miles Sanders is going to be that guy. I think he's going to be able to run it. But like you mentioned, Pacheco's a guy to watch because even with Clyde coming back, I don't see Clyde being much of a factor in my opinion. I think it's going to be Pacheco. That's his to lose in my opinion for today's game. Maybe if he fumbles, we may see Isaiah Pacheco lose some more snap percentage. Maybe Jerick McKinnon comes in. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets more work. But I think Sanders will get most rushing yards in today's game.
Sounds good. Yeah, I definitely see it happen. He's had a great season, Sanders.
Yeah, no, he has. Sanders probably one of our surprises, I think, of the year.
Yeah, and I think from fantasy as well, he would have been a mid-range pick, and he was definitely a great pick where he was going. But I think it's contract year for him, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens after this.
It's always how it works. It's always how that works.
Yeah.
So next year, whoever's on contract, that's who we need to draft.
Yeah, exactly, because they need to go out and ball out and prove they should stay there. But the only thing with the Eagles is I don't know if they really need them, if they're going to if they keep Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott and something like that. Maybe they get another running back in. It's going to be interesting.
Maybe Miles Sanders gets a pay cut. Maybe he's willing to get a pay cut.
Maybe he's just not willing to get 10 or 12 mil a year, and he takes 5 or 6 or something like that, and he stays there, team friendly deal, and go back and try and win their Super Bowl.
I mean, I know money can be a factor for some of these quarterbacks or players and everything, but realistically, if your team's solid and able to go to the Super Bowl, you might as well take a team-friendly deal. Now, if it ends up happening where next season Jalen Hurts tears his ACL, knock on wood he doesn't, but tears ACL, then he doesn't look good in the future, then maybe you can go and get another team and go find a better team. But
yeah, I mean, let the contract run out and then see what happens, or get traded maybe. But yeah, I mean, that's hopefully you just haven't put that out into the universe for Jalen Hurts tonight. Now,
I know I'm trying to maybe draft Jalen Hurts next year in fantasy. I'm not a person to draft Jalen Hurts in fantasy. Neither Patrick Mahomes, but I might be eyeing them. They're very durable quarterbacks, and they're quarterbacks who don't really get hurt.
Yeah, we've seen Mahomes. He bounces back pretty quick. So yeah, but
he shouldn't have bounced back that quick.
No, he shouldn't have. But if it wasn't the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl and all that, he wouldn't have. He would have missed a few weeks, and there would have been Chad Henne in there. But you're going to have to give up a lot of capital to get one of these guys. So yeah, see what deals are out there.
Most receiving yards. Who do you have with the most receiving yards?
I think it's probably going to be Travis Kelce.
Oh, I was really hoping you would go with like AJ Brown or something.
Well, he was the one I was thinking of. I'm actually, well, it was between three, to be honest. It was Travis Kelce, AJ Brown, or Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's, I think, sneaky in this game. He could easily have like a massive game because all the focus is going to be on Kelce and AJ Brown. So Devontae Smith's
Exactly.
sneaky, but I think it's going to be Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I was thinking Smith could be a very sneaky pick. I mean, for the over unders on what he's looking at for possibly yardage that he has to do, I think it's like 70 or 80. I mean, he could easily snap that depending on how much coverage is on AJ Brown. You're going to leave Devonta Smith wide open. Jalen Hurts is going to have to pass it. They're QB spies. I mean, as much as I would love to go with Smith, I'm going to stick with Mr. Kelce as well. I like Kelce. I think he's going to have a big game today. A little bonus pick for us. Who scores the first touchdown? And how did they score the first touchdown?
Scores the first touchdown. Who scores the first?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you mine.
You tell yours. I haven't made a bet yet. I will make a bet on it. Go on. Who's yours?
So I think Travis Kelce will be the first one to score a touchdown. It'll be a passing touchdown, and it'll be a touchdown of 12 yards.
Oh, that's very precise. I'm going to go with a Jalen Hurts running back sneak. Or quarterback sneak, sorry. And yeah, so like
close RPO option?
Yeah, just close to the line, he runs it in.
Interesting. So they actually were the league leading team to run RPOs. I think they had I forget how many RPOs they had. I think they had like 185 run pass options, and that was the league leading in RPOs. They had 1,281 passing yards out of those RPOs. 97 times is when Jalen Hurts decided to run it. That gave him a whopping 409 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. So that could easily happen.
Yep.
I know. That could easily happen for Jalen Hurts.
Might put my money on that, so.
How many yards did you say?
I didn't. Just say right at the goal line.
Oh, so like a 1 yard. 2 yard.
You'll just run it over, sneak it in. Yep.
So, of course, I got to talk about last week or 2 weeks ago. I'll add it here. It didn't look too good for myself. We'll do the playoff fantasy draft. Did not look too good for myself. I'll bring it back to the conference championship. It was not a game I expected. I only had Patrick Mahomes, who scored double digits. Your team ended up doing phenomenal, and you had about 59 more points than I did, which brings us to championship week. If I win this week, we're tied 2-2, and it will be based on our points, on who will get the most points. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what's going to happen this week. But because you won last week, you technically have the first overall pick of the 2023 final season draft.
Okay, so and I can't pick the purples, right? That's how it's going.
Yeah, so purple you will not be able to pick. I ended up giving you some extra options for tight ends. Blake Bell, Noah Gray for the backups for the Chiefs. Grant Calcaterra and Jack Stroll for the Eagles because you picked Dallas Goedert.
I was about to say, did we both pick Goddard or?
Yeah, I picked Goddard last week, and you picked Goddard divisional week.
Fun times for me. Tight ends.
Yeah. So of course you have the first pick. Who are you curious on going for in this one?
Oh man. So the purples
I mean, you could also give it to me if you'd like. I don't mind taking your pick.
The purples I can't pick. The pinks you can't pick.
The pinks are all yours. You can pick.
And the rest are anybody. So Miles Sanders then.
No, why? That's I knew that would be the 101 pick easily, 100%.
Yeah, it's kind of just sticks out.
I'm gonna go with Sky Moore for my pick.
Oh, interesting.
I need wide receivers, and my wide receivers don't look too good. Devonta Smith and MVS as in other options. I don't have AJ Brown or Juju. It doesn't look good.
Okay. Interesting. So then I will go for, dear Lord. The options are not very good.
No, it's so bad.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
I'll take Kadarius Toney.
That would have been my next pick. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with a running back here. I'm gonna go with Boston Scott.
Woohoo! Sounds great. You
Boston.
never know.
Yeah, you never know. He could have a 1 yard rushing score, and that gives me 6 points already.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Boston Scott is my starting running back.
Ouch.
Don't worry, your quarterback. You only have. I mean, you can't. We both can't do 2 quarterbacks. It would have been nice if we could.
Exactly, you won't get to do it. So I will take a chance on your man, Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins. What a great wide receiver, too.
I know, right?
I will go with. I'm trying to think how I want to approach this next couple picks. I think I'm going to go with. Oh, I keep forgetting to mark out Miles Sanders. I think it's because I want him. For my next running back, I'm going to go Clyde. Only because if he does end up getting some chances, I mean, maybe Pacheco fumbles. I don't know. But I need another running back.
Yep, you got to get someone. Oh, look at the. Okay, let me see like the pink ones. The pink ones I can have too.
Yeah, it's all you. You can have all you want for those pink ones.
Oh well, AJ Brown's mine, so I might as well put him
in. Okay. I figured. He's going to be your flex. Kadarius Toney and Quez Watkins, your top wide receivers on your team.
Yeah. Okay.
I will go with Isaiah Pacheco in my flex.
Nice. I will go with Jerick McKinnon as my RB2.
RB2. I mean, he gets really good passing looks today.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Well, you have one more flex spot, and if you want to get rid of all the running backs, you can go with Kenny Gainwell.
I'll let you have Gainwell if you like.
No, I'm good. I'll go with Devonta Smith as my wide receiver too.
Of course, you had to.
Yeah, of course. No, I should have actually just left him. I could still beat you without Devonta Smith.
Oh, okay. Fight and talk. I don't think you can though. I'll take Juju Smith-Schuster as super flex.
As your super. Okay. I'm surprised. What made you go with Juju instead of Gainwell?
I just going for the wide receivers over the three-headed running back tandem, and I've already got Miles Sanders, so.
I'll be the first one to take a quarterback, and it'll be Jalen Hurts, of course. I would have rather had Patrick Mahomes.
What are you gonna do?
Jalen Hurts is my guy.
Cool. I will go with Noah Gray as my tight end.
Noah Gray is your tight end. I love that. That's a great pick. Great pick. Could win MVP.
I know. Let's hope that Kansas City do, 2 tight ends, get him out there, use Kelce as a dummy, throw it to Gray. That's how it's going to work.
You don't want Grant Calcaterra?
No, I don't want Grant Calcaterra. Jack Stroll or whatever his name is. Stoll? No.
Yeah, Jack Stroll. Yeah. For my tight end, I will be going with Mr. Travis Kelce.
Of course,
I think that's. I don't think that's much of a surprise,
No, that's a given.
So,
and then,
this is your hardest pick with your quarterback. I think you need to go with Minshew Magic.
Minshew or Chad Henne?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, I figured. My super flex is interesting here because I can't go with the running back because you got Kenny Gainwell there.
Mm-hmm.
I could go with MVS, but I don't know how confident I am with MVS. And Justin Watson, Greg Ward, and Zach Pascal are irrelevant. As if as we see them score a touchdown today.
Exactly. You know that's going to happen now that you just put that out there.
I know. I put it out in the world, and it's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Justin Watson is the first player to score the touchdown today.
Put money on that right now and see what happens. You'll get a crazy price, or you won't get a price at all.
It's probably like plus, I don't know, maybe plus 1,000 or 1,200 at least.
It's gotta be big anyway.
I feel like I'm spelling MVS wrong, but I guess I'm not. Who's your flex? Not that we really need a flex, but who's your flex?
Or our bench, just in case.
Yeah, in case Patrick Mahomes can't play and Chad Henne needs to come in.
No, I'll just take a chance on Zach Pascal, I suppose.
Zach Pascal is your bench.
Zach Pascal is the bench guy.
Well, because I spoke it into existence, I'm going to go with Justin Watson as my bench.
There you go. You might as well.
Might as well. So that is our looks here for our thing. Basically, Keith is going to lose this week, and I'll be victorious in points.
It's not going to happen, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm only down by 32 points. Travis Kelce can easily get that by himself.
Okay, but Pat Mahomes has to throw him the ball, so
that's fine. Well, who knows? Maybe Travis Kelce would be a QB sneak type of guy, or they'll do a trick play up their sleeve. They usually do that. A little spin around dance move, or doing that little circular. Yeah. You never know.
But okay. I like your confidence, but I still think I'm going to win.
Yeah. Before we end off, who is Super Bowl 57 MVP?
The MVP will be Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is the MVP. Well, I think I was talking about the Kelce brothers, about how they're going to retire. I think that I came in here with the shot of MVP being Travis Kelce, and I'm going to stick with that.
I was about to say, please say Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce, the center, will be the MVP. No, definitely not Jason Kelce. Imagine, that'd be great. That's when you retire, winning MVP as a center.
Definitely.
That's when you know you can't get it any better.
Yeah, life has just got too good.
Travis Kelce, Jalen Hurts, our MVPs. Of course, Jalen Hurts not going to be MVP. Sorry, Keith. Sorry to ruin the parade in Philadelphia, but
it's going to be Pat Mahomes then.
Yeah, even if Travis Kelce has such a great game.
Maybe Travis Kelce probably need to get 3 touchdowns.
He's going to finish the day with 11 receptions on 14 targets, 112 yards, and 2 scores.
I mean, the yards, the scores are, he can do that easy. I don't know whether he gets targeted 14 times and gets 11 receptions, but
he got targeted 17 times the other day.
Well, there you go. So it could happen. So that's not out of the equation.
I'll even add an extra 10 yards, 122 yards. How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
Who is your Super Bowl prediction for 2023? Early, way too early. Super Bowl 58 predictions. So I'll name you. I think I have. I don't know if I have it on me. I think I have the spreads of possibly who's planning on going to the Super Bowl, the favorites in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas next year. Kansas City is favored to win the Super Bowl, plus 500. Bills, 49ers, Bengals, Eagles, Cowboys, Chargers, Ravens, Packers.
Why are the Bills still second favorites? The Bills don't. That just like why? It doesn't make any sense. Well, obviously, if it's not the Seahawks, which I hope it's the Seahawks, I think once they get their quarterback situation sorted, it could be the 49ers.
49ers win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do they face? Which AFC team do they face?
Oh,
Bengals?
These are the Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals.
It looks like the Bengals are going to try and keep all their pieces together. It looks like, well, there's rumors that Burrow's going to take a team-friendly deal. So that means they'll have money for T. Higgins and then hopefully Jamar. So that keeps the core together. So if that happens, they've got a great show. So, but it'll be between them and the Chiefs again.
I was really hoping you didn't go with the Bengals and 49ers.
Why? Is that who you have?
Yeah, I have exactly the Bengals and 49ers going to the Super Bowl. And I have the 49ers winning it as well.
Okay. I don't know who.
So, unfortunately,
I think that's our predictions are more or less online.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is our first ever mock predictions for the Super Bowl, and I'm sure we're going to have many more to come, especially after the draft and after free agency. Of course, upcoming shows we'll be having our free agency frenzy of quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends for fantasy, what to look out for when we see DJ Chark and Jacoby Myers going to the Giants and going to the Super Bowl next season. Of course, who knows? But if you haven't done so already, go to Underdog Fantasy and be sure to use code SportsTimeHQ. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. So if you want to bet right now, Patrick Mahomes, you can go over under on 294.5 passing yards. Kenny Gainwell, 4.5 rushing attempts, and Travis Kelce, 78.5 receiving yards. You smash over on all of them on $5 bet, you're winning $15. You can't go wrong with that. And I mean, you could bet $5, pick 5 different picks, get $100 if you hit all of them. You can also do some insurance on that. So if you hit like 4 out of the 5, you win like 3 times the amount. So all fun and games on Underdog Fantasy, but be sure to bet responsibly on Super Bowl Sunday. But if you also want to get some bling bling at like Trophy Smack, go to TrophySmack.com/SportsTimeHQ. You can get a nice little ring right here. And this is, I got to replace it with Kansas City Chiefs and Travis Kelce when they win the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce wins MVP. But once again, go to TrophySmack.com/SportsTimeHQ. They got rings, they got belts, they got trophies, and you can just brag about your friends and show off the trophy, show off the bling. Once again, I was joined by my best co-host, Keith. You can follow him all over social media at SwampDonkey_90. Be sure to follow him and his fiance on Instagram at HuddleUp_NFL. Once again, I'm Fernando. I am your host of Sports Time HQ. We'll see you all post Super Bowl. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday, everyone.